his name. Say 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 his name. Eric Garner, 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 won't you say his name? Trayvon Martin, say his name. Trayvon Martin, say his name. Trayvon Martin, say his name. Trayvon Martin, won't you say his name? Sean Bell, say his name. Sean Bell, say his name. Sean Bell, say his name. Sean Bell, won't you say his name? Say his name. 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 Won't you say his name?
Freddie Gray, say his name. Freddie Gray, say his name. Freddie Gray, say his name. Freddie Gray, won't you say his name? Ayanna Jones, say her name. Ayanna Jones, say her name. Ayanna Jones, say her name. Ayanna Jones, won't you say her name? Sandra Bland, say her name. Sandra Bland, say her name. Sandra Bland, say her name. Sandra Bland, won't you say her name? Say her name. 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 Won't you say her name?
Kimani Gray, say his name. Kimani Gray, say his name. Kimani Gray, say his name. Kimani Gray, won't you say his name? John Crawford, say his name. John Crawford, say his name. John Crawford, say his name. John Crawford, won't you say his name? Michael Brown, say his name. Michael Brown, say his name. Michael Brown, say his name. Michael Brown, won't you say his name? Say his name. Say his name, 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 won't you say his name?
Miriam Carey, say her name. 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 Sharonda Singleton, say her name. Sharonda Singleton, say her name. Sharonda Singleton, say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Emmett Till, say his name. Emmett Till, say his name. Emmett Till, say his name. Emmett Till.
Won't you say his name? Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Won't you say his name? 90.7 WTCC. Good morning and welcome to the Spoken Word. I'm your host, Bishop Talbert Swan II. And as usual, we'll be telling it like it is through cultural idioms and nuances that shape the order, ethos, and chaos of the African American experience. Words have their own vitality. They shape their own consciousness and create their own context for interpreting social and spiritual reality. The spoken word contains the power to reshape the landscape of society. It is 3 minutes past the hour of 9 a.m. and I want to welcome you all to another remote edition Word Radio broadcast. So listen, I'm here, not in my usual remote location, which is usually the man cave at home ever since COVID, and we haven't been able to be in the studio. I'm here in my office at the church. And I needed to be here. One of our longtime members, Mother Ethel Collins, and certainly our condolences go out to her family and we're praying with them. But listen. This is the very church where I've been getting hate calls, hate emails, all of that kind of stuff. Every time I get covered by Fox News, anything I say, anything I tweet, it's like these folks are obsessed with me, that they follow what I say, what I tweet, all of that, and so they often write about me. And whenever Fox News in particular, all of the right-wing media, the Daily Caller, all that stuff, they're always talking smack about me. And I'm cool with that. You don't judge a man by his friends, you judge him by his enemies. But whenever Fox News covers me, I get nonstop hateful telephone calls to the church by so-called Christians cussing me out and calling me niggers. Emails, they're all over my social media, all of that stuff. Good evangelical Christian white folks just telling me how to be a godly man, because according to them, I can't be a man of God unless they say that I am. And what are they tripping over? Let me pull up the tweet that's got them all riled up this time around. The last time, you all know, it was the one that said the Grim Reaper took the wrong Trump, and they went ballistic. I mean, all kinds of death threats, and these folk get so upset when you talk about their orange mango Mussolini that they threaten to kill you, literally threaten to kill you. This time around, let me see exactly what I said. And I don't take it back. I unequivocally stand behind what I said. I said what I said. So to all of you trolls, I know usually the trolls are hanging out on the Periscope side. Matter of fact, let me pull up the comments so I can see where they are. The trolls are usually on the Periscope side. Good morning, Mother Fields. Good morning to everybody. Matter of fact, almost forgot to tell you, go ahead and like and share and all of that kind of stuff. Like, share, subscribe, all that. So I don't know why it's taking me so long to find it. But there was nothing untrue about what I said. Here's what I said. I said, there's no such thing as blue lives. Stop comparing your job with my life. Your career is a choice. My blackness isn't. Let me say it again, because, if you can find what's wrong with that statement, please tell me what the problem is. There's no such thing as blue lives. Stop comparing your job with my life. Your career is a choice. My blackness isn't. And we understand that just like they used, good morning, Brian, just like they used All Lives Matter as a rebuttal to Black Lives Matter, they use Blue Lives Matter as a rebuttal to Black Lives Matter. And my simple statement was, you choose to be blue. You're not born a cop. You're not born a law enforcement officer. That's a career choice. My blackness I'm born with. The discrimination, the oppression that we face because we're Black, we can never change our blackness. There's nothing we can do about our blackness. Stop comparing your career choice to our life. That's what I simply said. Another one I said was this: if Black Lives Matter makes you angry because it doesn't say all lives matter, but Blue Lives Matter doesn't upset you, then you're really triggered by the word Black. Think about it for a moment. You don't have a problem with all lives matter. You don't have a problem with Blue Lives Matter, but you have a problem with Black Lives Matter. What's the difference between all of them? the word black. That's what you got a problem with this. You got a problem with our blackness. So, of course, as they always do, salaciously, they try to spin it. They try to get the maximum effect, rile up their audience. So Fox News wrote about it, and Fox News said NAACP President Talbert Swan says no such thing as blue lives. And of course, most of these Trump supporters and Fox News aficionados don't read much anyway. So they see the byline and then they start looking up my phone number, and then they start calling the church and unleashing all of their white Christianity, all of their good white Christianity. It's amazing. It's amazing how these folk really, I mean, they really consider themselves to be Christians. It is absolutely, positively insane. Let me see. I think this might be the one I want to play for y'all. Let's see.
This is for that uppity ass nigger that thinks he's used to be colored and not that.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the good Christian now. Good Christian calling me the uppity N word. Good Christian Trump supporters. Listen to him.
This is for that uppity ass nigger that thinks he's used to be colored and not African American. Now you're just fucking nigger for doing that shit, saying that about the police officers. You can go suck a donkey, you fucking nigger. We hate you down here in the South. We have a lot of blacks here. They're decent human beings. But up north, you Democratic jackasses, you're willing to destroy America just so you can get some more money in your pockets. That's all you're about. It's not about God, you jackass. It's all about your money. I dare you to come down to Texas. My name's Mark Buffington. Come on down here eye to eye and say that about the police. I guarantee you there are several shotgun snaps, and there'll be a lot of people around me that go, hey, I'm not going to let this out. Jungle monkey, wherever the fuck you are, say that shit about the fucking police. Stop it, shut the fuck up, or leave America. And always go back to Africa, jackass.
So this good Christian white Trump supporter called me an N-word about 4 times, called me a jungle monkey, threatened that if I come down south and say what I said, that I'll hear shotgun snaps. And otherwise, they shoot me and kill me. And this is consistent since yesterday. Probably about 80 calls and more are coming in even this morning. This is the type of person who supports the man that's in the White House. This is the ilk of people who support the Mango Mussolini in the White House. These are the people who call themselves Christian. Okay? Okay? Good Christians. Good old Christians. Let me see.
Pastor Swan, my name is Scott Toll. My phone number is 559.
I don't want to get his phone number out there because then that violates stuff. There's another one I wanted y'all to hear about, someone who called himself, he says, I'm a Christian. And then he proceeds to cuss me out. It's amazing.
Yeah, Bishop Swan, you can't be called the Church of God in Christ because you're possessed by the devil. You're nothing more than a race-baiting hate pimp. Blue lives matter because I say they do. Police officers' lives, and my white life matters because I say it does.
Okay, well, that's one of those white guys that's, I'm white and I say so, and that's all there is to it. See, I'm at my church now, the phone's ringing now, and I'm sure this is one of these hate mongers who they've been calling nonstop since yesterday, emailing, inboxing all of my social media, all over my Instagram, all over my Facebook. I got to tell you, they are dedicated to white supremacy. I mean, they are dedicated to white supremacy. Trust me.
Bishop, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not here to dump on you because we have.
That's not the one I'm looking for. But But anyway, I'm going to talk about Blue Lives, the origin.
Stupid pastor, Blue Lives Matter is worthless life. You should go to hell.
Good Christians. I should go to hell. Yeah. Uh-huh. Let me see here.
Talbert Swan, you're a disgrace to the Christian community. Demonizing policemen who would protect neighborhoods from ransacking, rioting, Black Lives Matter protester. You're a fucking disgrace. You should resign in that church. You don't represent Christianity when you demonize police who are here to protect property, people, and lives. Resign.
Now, remember, I've read to you what I wrote. And how did I demonize police? I said, don't compare a career to our lives. And here's the thing. And this is the hypocrisy of the whole Blue Lives Matter movement, is they want to paint Black Lives Matter as being anti-police. They want to paint black people as being anti-police. We're not anti-police. We're anti-police brutality. We are anti-police murdering unarmed black people. They say, well, most of those folks were guilty. It doesn't even matter because police aren't authorized to kill guilty people. That's what courts are for. Police are supposed to arrest people. They arrest plenty of guilty white folks, but they get to see their day in court. James Egan Holmes walked into a theater and murdered 17 people and injured 50 some odd other people. He got arrested and got his day in court. Okay? Black people don't get to go to court many times because police become judge and jury and executioner. That's what we're talking about. We are anti-extrajudicial murder, not anti-police. Understand the difference and stop gaslighting the issue. We're going to open up the phone line shortly. First Lady Swan is going to be coming on 1:30, give us an update on voting. We're going to be doing this up until November 3rd, underscoring the importance of voting. Let's see what we got here.
Hey, dipshit Talbert Swan, Blue Lives Matter. You're nothing but a false prophet in the end times. America sees you for what you are. You're nothing but a hateful poverty pimp, keeping your own people in the chains of the Democratic Party. You said it wrong, Trump. Are you kidding me? You're a pastor? Are you kidding me? You saw a young black man today walk up to two cops and shoot him in the head.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me play one more, and then I'm gonna get to their rank hypocrisy.
Yeah, I heard what you said about the police. You ain't no man of God. You're a man of Satan, a POS. You're a peon, a nobody. So keep the big mouth off the airwaves.
My big mouth is on the airways, Billy. I'm on right now. Go tell your friends.
Yes, can you tell Pastor Swan and give him a message for me, please? You tell him Blue Lives Matter more than Black Lives Matter.
Blue Lives Matter more than Black Lives Matter. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yesterday, and I know y'all probably don't know about it. You probably do if you've been on my social media. But yesterday, a white man in New Mexico got pulled over, traffic stop, shot a New Mexico State police officer. Okay? White man. Guy named Robert Benjamin Nelson. They always got three names. Robert Benjamin Nelson of Scottsdale, Arizona, okay, was charged with attempt to commit murder. This was yesterday. White man. Okay? This white man. Where's this dude? Okay? He shot a New Mexico State police officer. Have you heard anything about it? Have you heard anything from the Blue Lives Matter crowd? Have you heard anything from Donald Trump? Because Donald Trump was just tweeting this morning about the 2 police officers shot by the black man in Compton. Nothing about the officers shot in New Mexico. The majority, over 90% of police officers that are shot by white males. Let's keep it a buck. Over 90% of cops that are shot by white males. Yet, when the 2 officers get shot in Compton, is an outrage. Blue lives matter, blue lives matter, blue lives matter. And yesterday, when a cop gets shot by a white male, you can hear a rat pee on cotton. Complete silence by the Blue Lives Matter crowd. Complete silence. See, you've got to understand the historians of American policing, they trace this modern pro-law enforcement movement back to William Parker, who was the police chief in post-war Los Angeles. He frequently and hyperbolically warned about the dangers of so-called anti-police sentiment. And during his 16 years as the head of the LAPD, he brushed off every attempt of police accountability as a Trojan horse, called it godless communism. He made enemies of civil rights leaders. It was him who first used the term the thin blue line to describe the fragile boundary between civilization and anarchy upheld by the police. He called it the thin blue line. In 2014, it was a white University of Michigan student who was watching the street protests sparked by the police killings of Eric Garner, Tamir Rice, and Michael Brown when he decided to turn Parker's words into a flag as a show of support for police. Okay? The black supposedly represents citizens, and the black below represents criminals, and the thin blue line is what stands between them. Okay? This thin blue line symbol really is a white supremacist symbol that wants to subjugate black people again, and ensure that modern policing is just like how policing started back with the slave codes and the slave patrols. Something happened on Saturday here in our city. Our mayor came to a Black Lives Matter unveiling of a mural, a Black Lives Matter mural in front of City Hall, dedication of that mural. He came wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, just like this same shirt. Came wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt, came feigning support, but he had on a mask with that thin blue line, that symbol, that white supremacist symbol. And then when he gave his commentary, he said this. He said, all police aren't bad and all citizens aren't good. That was a dog whistle to the Blue Lives Matter crowd and the All Lives Matter crowd that, yes, I'm here because I'm mayor. I've got to be here out of duty, but I'm still with y'all. I'm still with y'all. Don't get it twisted. That's what that was about. And my message to the mayor is all police aren't good and all citizens aren't bad. That's the other side to that coin that you forgot to mention. So, the hypocrisy of it all is the gaslighting of Black Lives Matter of being anti-police. Black people have never been anti-police. Never been anti-police. We are anti-police brutality. We are anti-police abusing their authority. We are anti-police murdering unarmed Black people. We are anti-police treating us differently than they would treat anyone else. If police can take into custody a white man who shoots at them 40 times with an AR-15, how come they have to shoot Jacob Blake in the back 7 times? Why is that? You know, if police can arrest a Kyle Rittenhouse, matter of fact, if they can see a Kyle Rittenhouse with a rifle and allow him to walk past them and keep going, how come they're so afraid of Black men who they don't know if they have a weapon? I thought he might have maybe had a weapon, and you've got to shoot him or murder him. But white guys who you see with a weapon, who happen to have just murdered 2 people, you let them go. This is the hypocrisy of the Blue Lives Matter movement. This is the rank hypocrisy of those who support it. I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna bring Lady Swan on. Listen. 17 days before these 2 officers were unfortunately shot in Compton, which is a tragedy. And we pray for them and their recovery because we don't want any innocent people being shot. But 17 days before they were shot, 17 days before the Blue Lives Matter crowd came out with their outrage, they supported, defended, and excused Kyle Rittenhouse, who murdered 2 Black Lives Matter protesters. Not only did they support him, defend him, and excuse him, and pretended what he did was in self-defense, they started a crowdfund account and raised over $1 million for his defense. There's something wrong in America when white folks don't see the hypocrisy of supporting a white supremacist who murders 2 Black Lives Matter protesters and raises him $1 million for his defense, and 17 days later, y'all are screaming Blue Lives Matter when 2 cops get shot. And then a day after that, when another cop gets shot by a white man, y'all have nothing to say at all. Come on, man. You can't get any more hypocritical than this. I mean, as the protests against police killing of George Floyd have surged across the country, this pro-law enforcement rallies bearing the name Blue Lives Matter have proliferated as well. And many have attracted counter-protesters and ensuing street battles sometimes have turned ugly and racist. And all of this is happening under this man in the White House. This man who is on a tweet storm now talking about the 2 officers in LA. But this same man said nothing about Jacob Blake getting shot, has said nothing about Breonna Taylor being murdered, has said nothing about Ahmaud Arbery being murdered, has said nothing to the families of the 2 Black Lives Matter protesters that were murdered by Kyle Rittenhouse, and has said nothing to the family or to the police officer in New Mexico who was shot by the white man. So what Trump does, he takes any situation that he can exploit to further divide America across racial lines so he could stoke up his racist crowd of support. And Cindy, I see you trolling on Facebook. The same thing to you. Okay, and your greasy granny. All right. Um, I told y'all the trolls was gonna be out today. And that's the reason why it's important. I said all that to say that's the reason why it is important for us to vote in record numbers on November 3rd, because we've got to change the balance of power in this nation, and we've got to get this demagogue who is continuing to divide this nation out of the White House. And with that said, I'm going to bring on First Lady Swan, who's going to continue to talk about the importance of us getting out and voting. Hey, girl.
Good morning. Good morning, Bishop.
I don't have to be formal with you.
That's not what you said last week.
Yeah, well, I said you have to call me Bishop. I ain't got to call you nothing different.
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing, babe?
I'm good.
Glad to be with you.
So
Glad
tell me
to be
tell us what's on your mind today. I'm gonna leave it to you for a couple minutes solo, and I'm gonna run downstairs and check on the funeral. I'll be right back in a minute. So you got my show right now.
Okay, all right. I didn't expect that, but good morning, Springfield, and the rest of you who may be watching out there. I've actually want to thank Bishop for this space, giving us this space, giving the women of the NAACP this space to share with you some of the initiatives that we are taking on in our respective communities. And when I say community, I'm not just talking about our localities where we reside, but I'm also talking about our respective communities where we socialize and where, we are fed, whether that be through our families who may live anywhere in the country or in the world, or whether that be with our faith communities or our sororities and fraternities. There is so much going on as it pertains to voting this year. This election cycle is like no other I've ever seen or heard or expected in my life, just like with what's going on in the world right now as we continue to deal with this pandemic, with COVID-19. It's just so much going on that we're dealing with. And with that being the case, voting and as well as filing our census has been attacked. So the women of the NAACP, we are in it to win it, Bishop. We have made this decision that we're going to do. Some of the women in the community and a lot of the women in the NAACP, all of us are on board, to try to create the kinds of programs and initiatives in our community that will empower the people and also motivate the people to get out and vote and participate in politics, and not just politics, but social justice in this way. So our focus for the remainder of the month is census filing and voter registration. So on Saturday, September the 19th, which is this Saturday, at the Spring of Hope Church of God in Christ, we will be hosting Operation Count Census Rally. Operation Count Census Rally. Many community members will be joining us to share on the importance of filing your census form. The census cycle, just like the election cycle, is turning out to be the most challenging in U.S. history. I don't know if everybody has been paying attention, but on shows like Roland Martin, Karen Hunter, they have really been addressing this. Of course, the Black Eagle. They have really been trying to address and educate the Black community in particular about the attack again. Once on again the major attack on voting as well as filing our census. Like I said, this census cycle is under attack like we've never seen before. In 2018, Kenneth Pruitt, a professor of public affairs, stated that the 2020 census is set to face unprecedented challenges in three major ways: by operational issues, he said, by partisan interference, and by deliberate disruption, which means once again racism is ruling the day. The Census Bureau is supposed to conduct an accurate count. That is what their job is. No undercount and no overcount. It's supposed to be an accurate count. So at the end of the day, we all know that the census takes place every 10 years, every 10 years. So we all know that it's very important for us to be counted. And I'm talking about Black people, poor people, marginalized people, disenfranchised people. It's very important for us to be counted because it goes all the way back to where you live. So it chuckles down from the government, from DC, all the way back to Springfield, Massachusetts. And so we live in Springfield, Massachusetts, and we live in a certain area of Springfield, Massachusetts. So when we are counted properly, those resources come from the federal government, goes to the state, goes to the city, and goes to the neighborhoods. So that's why it's very important that we make sure that we are counted and counted um, culturally um, important, not just our person as a being, but it's very important that we be counted as African American or African or whatever it is that we are, whether it be Hispanic, whether it be, it can be anything, but whatever you are, just make sure that you are counted properly and that every member of your home is counted properly and that your racial and ethnic makeup is included in that information. But the Trump administration has decided to interfere with producing an accurate count for several possible reasons: voter disruption, manipulating the state and local governments, partisan and Republican power plays, racism, of course, discrimination towards immigrants. This is really, really huge when it comes to Native Americans and when it comes to immigrants, and of course, once again, when it comes to the poor, when it comes to Black and brown people, and when it comes to marginalized, certainly disenfranchised groups. An inaccurate count tends to affect us the most or impact us the most. There are many, many, many other reasons. Listen, I'm not pretending to be an expert, but we will have experts on at the church, on the campus, in the parking lot on Saturday that will be there to not only help us file. So, come down if you haven't filed already, come down and file on the spot, or else you can go to www.my2020census.gov, my2020census.gov, and you can file right now. You can submit and complete your form right now. It's very important. It's very important that we participate in the process. And even if, we got some issues that we need to tweak out and work out or whatever the case may be, it's best to do that from within. It's best to do that from within. So it's very important that we submit and file our census reports in its forms, and it's also extremely important that we continue to participate in our local and state elections. Bishop, are you back?
I'll be here. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Again, was just trying to take some time, and I know that you're really busy today. I don't know if you share with your audience that we have a funeral, today and things like that. So we don't have a lot of time, and I know that you're really busy, working with them over there at the church. But again, I wanted to just let the people know that we're having the census rally on Saturday. We will have vendors there. People from the community are coming out. Community activists are coming out. We will have a keynote speaker once again. We will have local politicians coming in to speak to us about the importance of filing our census, just giving us good information, because a lot of times the reason why we don't participate in something is because we're not informed enough and we're not educated enough. So come down, get educated, get informed, or at least watch us on Facebook Live. All of us, will be using our social media platforms to also, spread the word and get the word out. What's also critical about the census is not, I'm not just speaking to the Springfield community. I live in Springfield, Massachusetts. So, of course, my community where I live and where I reside, is very important to me. The census is a national thing. So, it's very important for those of you, wherever you live. It's very important for all of us to submit and file our census forms. Listen, this is how resources are allocated back to schools, to hospitals, to even down to our streets, and just everything you can think of that you need, or can help to improve your quality of life, is included in some kind of way or connected to the census count. So once again, it's very important that we don't allow these attacks, that we don't allow ourselves to be fooled and to be tricked. Somebody was saying the other day, Bishop, and I'm glad you're back so that we can try to have a little bit of discourse about this. But somebody was saying the other day to me that they kind of see the census the same way that they see voting, and it's, for nothing. In other words, it doesn't affect me, it doesn't impact me. And so it's a fraudulent system. And so I mean, I'm not going to be able to access any resources or help to improve the quality of life of my family in any kind of way by filing the census. So but then I thought about how much money is being spent, right? How much money, how much time, how much resources is being spent. I just heard the other day that Donald Trump spent like $1 million a week just to infiltrate social media
Yeah.
platforms so he could spread his lies and rumors. So there's a lot of money and time being spent to keep you from keep us black people, all right, keep us from filing our census and to keep us from going to the polls voting. And so let me say this again about the voting. I was very happy for my city that we increased our voting or going to the polls by 20% this past primary. But
And
we
that's still
still
not
have
enough.
we still not close. We still got a lot of room, Bishop, for improvement. 73% of us stayed home. So only 27% of us came out. Was some improvement, but as you can see, we got a lot of work to do. 27% of us cannot come out November 3rd and expect to see any kind of change, to see any kind of a positive outcome in that election uh by coming out 27%. So I want to encourage people to meet the deadline for the census. The deadline for the census right now, and again, because it's under attack, is September 30th. So it's a mass push. It's a mad push right now, these last couple of weeks, to get that census completed. Donald Trump cut the census deadline by 30 days, so increasing the possibility of of not including millions of black people from submitting their census reports. So please get your forms in, meet the deadline, do it today. my2020census.gov, and get registered to vote. If you haven't already registered to vote, get registered to vote. If you're not sure if you're registered to vote, re-register. Re-register.
It doesn't hurt.
Re-register. Or
Don't
you
you,
can
you
check it.
Yeah, if
Or
you've
you
already registered, it doesn't, you don't get penalized for registering again. So to be on the safe side, as a matter of fact, we're doing something through Kojic. You can go to rocks.online, ROCS.online/COGIC. You can check and see if you're registered. And if you're not, you can register using that link right there.
Mississippi, I don't know if you know about this. I just found out about it myself. So the Mississippi election commissioner came out and said, I quote, supposedly, I quote, came out and said, the blacks are doing a lot of voter programs, to get the black people out to vote November 3rd. So then the commissioner comes back and says, so the people need to do something too.
Yeah. Yeah.
The people need to do something too. So you get that? So black people are
The
not
black card
people.
became, you're not
Okay,
people.
but and they running scared because black people are, because we are doing programs like this. We are waking up, and I thank God for that. Because we should have been woke long before Trump. But whatever. Uh, Nevertheless, we're waking up, and so some of these racists are running a little scared, Bishop, because of programs like this that we're doing here in Springfield. They're being done all across the country. So, but I mean, but black folk, if you've never, and I know I sound real country right now, but if you've never participated in the process before, if you never strategized collectively, with your people before, this is our time. This is our cycle. So we
Yeah.
need to do this together. We need to do this together, Bishop.
Here's what I need you all to do for me, because I see some strange stuff going on as we've been talking. On the system that I use, I can see the viewer count on all platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Periscope. All of my views from Facebook have disappeared. It's
All
strange
of you
because
who?
the views on Facebook have disappeared. The people are still there. If you're on Facebook, we had 100 and some odd people on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, just type in the comments, "I'm still here," because what Facebook has just now done on our stream,
Oh
it
yeah.
it shows no people watching on Facebook, which I know is a lie. And so, because if you're on Facebook, I need y'all to just type into the comments, "We're still here." I just need to make sure they didn't just wipe out my stream on Facebook, or if they're just playing with the numbers. Because right now it shows that I have one viewer on Facebook, but I see you, Whitney. I see Mark Brown. I see Annette Culpepper. I see Stacia. I see Daryl Sutton. I see Jeffrey
Okay,
Jones.
so
Kang. I see so
can we
many of
talk
you
about
who are
that?
still here. And this is
Can we
nothing
talk
but
about that?
another suppression effort,
There
because
you
they know
go.
the more people that they show are watching, the more others want to come on and see what's happening. That's a strategy. If people come across a stream and they see one person watching, they're not inclined to click on and watch. And so, to suppress the conversation that's going on right now, Facebook has basically wiped out the number of all of the viewers that are on Facebook. So if you're still watching from Facebook right now, just type in the comments, "I'm still here watching," and let us know that you're
See,
still here
Bishop,
watching.
I'm glad that you said that. We was talking about this just yesterday. I think it was just yesterday, and so it was Maxine Waters. I believe it was Maxine Waters who held a hearing and confronted Zuckerberg on this very thing. So there are a lot of tricks going on in social media, y'all, because they know that Black folk use social media, and we use social media very well to communicate with each other. So there are a lot of tricks. It's under attack. We are under attack. I'm telling y'all, this is no joke. This is, no conspiracy theory. This is no dream, no fantasy. It's really happening. So in the algorithms, or whatever, it's code words. So they probably heard me say Republican. They probably heard me say a Republican attack, partisan attack. They heard me say Trump, or whatever. And in the technology, when they hear those terms or when they hear those code terms, they start to kind of fool around, with things, to misrepresent the truth and to misrepresent what's actually going on. So, I don't know, Bishop, if you want to expound upon that, because I'm not tech
Well,
savvy,
well, well,
and I'm no expert
now
on
what
any
they've
of this,
done,
but I did follow that story. I did
now
follow
what
that
they've
story.
done is they've blocked us from even commenting on the Facebook stream. Oh, absolutely amazing.
So can people still hear us?
I
Can they
believe
still
the
hear
people
us?
are still out there watching because I can still see it and we can still hear it. Um, but they wiped out the number in terms of the viewers. And not only have they wiped out the number of the viewers, they have blocked, at least they've blocked me from being able to comment. And I asked people to it says Facebook is saying I am not allowing comments. That's a lie. That's a lie. I have not restricted comments. Facebook is restricting comments on my page right now.
It's
Absolutely
so
amazing.
funny. It's so funny. God
Absolutely
has it.
amazing.
Oh wow. God dropped this in my spirit yesterday. I just talked to my husband about this yesterday. Oh my God.
This is absolutely amazing right now. So Facebook is telling people who are on my page right now that I have restricted comments on the stream. They've wiped out the 100 of people that are on there, so you can't see the number of people that are on there, and they're lying, saying that I've restricted comments. I have not restricted any comments on this stream. Facebook has restricted the
So
comments
so
on my.
did did, did Facebook bounce them out though?
No, they're still on there, but you just can't see the number of people that are on there, and they cannot interact with the they cannot
With
interact by
us.
commenting. They can see the video right now, but they can't interact with the video. They cannot comment with the video. Um, Facebook is not allowing for there to be any comments. It's saying you have been temporarily blocked from performing this action. That's what's coming up on 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 my
I
page
never seen that before,
when I
but
try to comment. When other people are trying to comment, it's saying that I have blocked them. I'm not accepting comments, which is a lie. Thank you, Facebook.
and you know what I thought, Bishop? I thought, well, people don't want to hear me talk. I thought they left because of me. I thought they left because of me, but yeah, okay.
No,
So, but
no.
that's part of it.
This is the
That's exactly,
suppressive game.
some of the stuff. Yeah,
So
I know.
what I would say to
That's
what I say to my Facebook viewers: go to my YouTube page at Talbert Swan, or go to Twitter or my Periscope stream, and you can comment from either of those streams, because obviously Facebook is playing games right now.
yeah, because I had a couple of questions before the show is over, and I think we only got what, 4 minutes.
Yeah,
I was hoping
they
that
are
somebody
playing
from the
games.
community.
Wow.
I was hoping that somebody from the community could answer a question for me, but I don't know if that's going to happen today. But Bishop, I just wanted to expound a little bit too up on, the focus of women in the NAACP.
Go ahead.
Together we win is our motto. But I just wanted everybody to know what our objectives are. So our first objective was registration. I have to live in an area where registration is not that big of a problem. Springfield has done a tremendous job in getting people registered to vote. We may have a few, a minority of people who are still not registered. Maybe recently turned 18 years old or something like that. But for the most part, we have a good number. We have a good 102,000 people in the city, that are registered to vote when we only have 60,000 people that live here. So, voter registration though is still very much a part of, what we do. And voter education. I used to think that voting was just about going and tallying up and pulling the lever, or whatever, in my naivete, when it comes to voting. It's a lot of education that goes into voting. It's a lot of different ways to vote. It's a lot of things that you got to think about and consider when it comes to voting. And like I said, if you don't know who to vote for, because you're new to this, or whatever case may be, get with somebody who you trust, who has participated in the process. Get with an OG. Get with an OG. And a lot of times, and I no offense to the black men, but a lot of times you get with an OG black woman, or whatever, and let her educate you and let her mentor you in the process, and you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Um, Information is our third objective, so a part of education is also information, not alternative facts, but truths to the best of our ability. And then our last subject, extremely important, is inspiration. See, because like I said, we have done a great job, and this might be a reflection of the country. We've done a great job with getting people registered. We've had all these drives, we've had all these rallies, and getting people registered. We've had whatever cookouts in the whole nine to get people registered. However, people are not inspired to go to the polls. So get people we need to get people empowered to go to the polls. So we have 4 objectives: Bishop: registration, education, information, and inspiration. And this is an ongoing thing. It's not going to be over after November 3rd. We still got a lot of work to do. Even if things turn out like we think we want them to turn out November 3rd, we still got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of people to hold accountable to the black agenda. This time we need to make sure that we have a black agenda to present to not only Congress, but to also present to our state government and our city government as well.
Absolutely. All right, we got 2 minutes left in the program. I got to transition out of this, but listen, I need for you all to go and register to the NAACP Greater Springfield page. Register for this Thursday for the Freedom Fund Symposium. It's happening at 7:00 on this Thursday. If you haven't registered, please do so. There are a limited number of spots available. Dr. Freddie Haynes is going to be our keynote speaker. We're going to get to the bottom of this. I just saw a notice that Facebook unpublished my public figure page. I guess, hey, I don't know what's going on. It said my page.
I said Trump.
It said my page has been unpublished. Well, they've been restricting my pages back and forth for a while because I've had white supremacists who continue to threaten me in my inbox. I expose them, and then Facebook restricts my page for exposing the white supremacists whose pages they won't restrict for threatening to kill me. It's absolutely amazing. Facebook is trash right now, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, we'll get to the bottom of it, and we'll figure out what's happening. But listen, register for that Freedom Fund Symposium. It's very important. Remember the rally next Saturday that's happening here at Spring of Hope. And y'all just be on the lookout for me. We're going to get to the bottom of this and figure out what's going on. All right, First Lady, we'll see you soon. Everybody, until the next time I talk to you and you talk to me, always remember God loves you, and so do I.
Say his name.